सुनो घंटी बजी स्कूल की।
Good morning, dear students. My name is Rajneesh Tyagi, and I welcome to you all once again for the online classes on Master G Rajneesh Tyagi. Dear students, today we are going for the next paragraph, the chapter, The Enemy. Here we go. Help an enemy, nevertheless, she told Yumi to fetch the water, hot water, and bring it to the room where the white man was. Then the owner of that house, Mrs. Hannah, Miss Hannah, Mrs. Hannah, she instructed to her servant, her maid, to Yumi that she must have fetched water on the body of that white man who's lying in the room of her father. She went ahead and slid back the partition. Sadao was not yet there. Dr. Sadao was not still presented there. Yumi, following, put down her wooden bucket. Yumi was following these instructions of that lady, it means Mrs. Hana, and Yumi put down her bucket on the floor. Then she went over to the white man. She went over to the white man, and what she did when she saw him, her thick lips folded themselves into stubbornness. Stubbornness, because due to the hungerness, his body was totally bad. His body was not showing any glow on the face, and when she saw the body of that person, or the body of that white man, she was feeling very bad. She was not feeling so good. I have never watched a white man, she said. She said to her honor, Ma'am, I have never watched a white man in my life ever, and I will not wash so dirty a one now. And this is going to be very dirty work for me ever. I really don't want to wash the body of this person. Please do not try to force me. I beg you, ma'am. Hannah cried at her civilly. You will do what your master commands you. Okay? And then Hannah was got angry. She said, how do you supposed to ignore my instructions? Even I told you right now, go into the room of that white man and wash him. But you're telling to me that you will not going to fetch the water on his body. You will break my. You're going to unobedient for me. You. There was so first a look of resistance upon Yumi's round dull face that Hana felt unreasonably afraid, because Hana was also scared to see that person, and they were confused, and that's why she was angry also. After all, if the servants should report something that was not as it happened, then Hannah also realized her mistake. If our servants will go to somewhere else and they will report to the police, they will report about the house of this respected out of this country, so what will be the results? So she realized her mistake very well. She said with dignity, now she was okay, now she was something like to be a sycophant. You understand, we only want to bring him to his sense so that we can turn him over as a prisoner. Okay, you know very well we are just doing our duty, because after all, my husband, he's a great doctor, and we are doing nothing. We are just going to make him in a sense, and after that we will send this person to the police station, and they will do that job. You just do not supposed to be worried right now. Just follow my instructions, and everything will be right. Then please, Hannah said gently, return to your own work. Now Hannah was requesting to her maid of that house, because she knew that if she will complain to someone, it will be more dangerous for us. She was requesting now. At once Yumi left the room, but This left Hannah with the white man alone. She might have been too afraid to stay, had not her anger at Yumi's subordinates now sustained her. She was also knowing this situation. If I will left this lady alone here, and definitely it is going to be very dangerous for us. If suppose perhaps if this white man will come back into the sense, he could be a very dangerous person for her also. So I should not left her alone in the presence of this white man, and not in the presence of Mr. Sadao. Stupid Yumi, she muttered firstly, is this anything but a man? And a wonder helpless man. I'm going to fetch the water on the body of this man. And because she was a lady, and she was not feeling, or she was not comfort to fetch the water on his body, and you may understand. In the convictions of her own superiority, she bent impulsively and united the knotted rocks that kept the white man covered. She, when she had his breast bare, she dripped the small clean towel that Yumi had brought into the steaming hot water, washed his face carefully. She brought a neat and clean towel, and with the help of the hot water, she was fetching the face of that man. She was trying to make his body neat and clean. The man's skin, tough, rough with exposure, was of fine texture and must have been very blonde when he was a child. And she was feeling that in his childhood he was a blonde person, his hair, his skin, and now you can see the condition of this man, the condition of this person who's not looking so good due to some war, due to some reasons, and going to be very dangerous, going to be very unhealthy for all of us. Well, Yumi was also not feeling very well that time. When she was thinking these thoughts, thought not really liking the man better, now that he was no longer a child, she kept on washing him until his upper body was quite clean. But this time he was not a child, he was a young man, and she was making clean his body on the upper side, on his chest. But she dared not turn him over, but was not feeling good to turn him over. She was scared. Where was Sadao? Now her anger was ebbing, and she was anxious again, and she rose, wiping her hands on the wrong towel. She was wiping her hands on the towel, and looking for Dr. Sadao, looking for the people there, because she was not feeling so good alone there. Then least the man be child. She put the quilt over him. Sadao, she called softly. Uh, when Sadao was calling to her, to his maid, and she replied him softly, and she put the quilt on the body of that person. He had been about to come in when she called. His hand had been on the door, and now he opened it. She saw that he had brought his surgeon's emergency bag, and that he wore his surgeon's coat. Now he was totally prepared for those operations. He was totally prepared to diagnose that person. He was prepared himself to give him a better medical service, because his expert fingers were uh, ready to give him a better treatment. You have decided to operate, she cried. She cried, means you have decided to treat him, to operate him? Okay. She was crying. Yes, he said shortly. He turned his back to her and unfolded a sterilized towel upon the floor on the tokonoma alcove, and put his instruments out upon it. And Dr. Sadao put the towel on the floor and he put down his all the instruments there for the operation. Fetch towels, he said. She went obediently and she was just following the instructions of her husband now. But how anxious how to the linen sleeves and took out her the towel. There ought also to be old pieces of matting so that he blood the blood would not rain in the fine floor covering. She went out to the back veranda where, and she went out to the veranda and following the instructions of her husband because he was a very sincere and a very good doctor, and he was doing this time his duty for a patient. He never knew and he never thought that the person is going to be operated by me right now. An American, no, he was not an American person for him right now. He was just a patient, and Dr. Sada was doing his best of duty for this patient too. She went obediently, but how anxious, how now, to the linen sleeves and took out the towels. There ought also to be old pieces of matting so that the blood would not run in fine floor covering. She went out to the back veranda where the gardener kept strips of matting with the which to protect delicate scrubs and cold nights, and took an armful of them. And the gardener of that person, I already told you before, he was a superstitious person, and according to him, the environment of that country, the environment of that place will take the revenge of this thinking, because he was an enemy for the country of Japanese, and Dr. Sada was going to protect him, was going to operate the disease and wounds of that person, which was not a good thing for them. And that's why outside of the house, that gardener was trying to have some things, some weapons to protect himself, to protect those people. But when she went back into the room, she saw this was useless. The blood and already shocked through the packing in the man's wound and had ruined the mat under him. Oh, the mat, she cried. She cried, yes, the mat is here. Yes, it is run, Sadao replied, and though it did not care, help me to turn him, he commanded her. He commanded to her, his wife, and also told her, help me to, help me to do these all the activities here to help me right now because I'm unable to do this job properly. I just want to turn him. She obeyed him without a word, and he began to wash the man's back carefully. And she was just following the instructions of her husband right now, and Dr. Sada was doing his duty gratefully and carefully. He was washing the back of that white man. Yumi would not wash him, she said. Yumi said, "No, I'm not gonna to wash and fetch the water on his body. She was not feeling good. Did you wash him then?" Sadao asked. Then he was going to confirm this thing. Then did you before? Did you wash him before coming of me in this room? Not stopping for a moment his swift conscious movements. And yes, she said. She said, yes, I tried. She said, yes, I washed his body. I washed him. He did not seem to hear her, but she was used to his absorptions. When he was at work, she wandered for a time. And he was surprising. She was surprised that Dr. Sada was doing his duty without any problem, because he was doing his duty, not a foy of that country, was doing his duty as a doctor. And being a doctor, it's a very first priority for us that we should definitely save our patient. And Dr. Sada was also doing his duty, but other members of that family was not feeling so good because of that thing, because they were not having the feelings of humanity in themselves, and was also thinking about this person, that person who is in our house right now is an American, and for us. That's why they were not feeling so good. So, dear students, it was the class of the day. We will meet tomorrow with the new paragraph of this story. Till then, you stay healthy at your home. And this is the questions to all of you: who was superstitious in this story, in this explanation? Give your answers in the comment box. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for your answers, and just do support of me. Have a great day, all of you. Give your answers, please, in the comment box. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye bye.